I don't know what happened here, but this car got fully destroyed. The tires on it, the wood on the top. What the hell happened here? Okay, so we have left for car week, and you can already see on the highway our reliable truck. Stay tuned. We're probably going to see this exact one at the pole fields in Monterey, plus like 100 other ones. There might be some insane stuff in there, but I guess we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, we have about a 5-hour drive to Monterey, I think, right now. Our first day is usually pretty chill. We'll see what we find. I think there's already some cars around, but get ready. It's going to be a crazy week. If you're not subscribed already, subscribe, because I'm going to bring you along for like the full car week experience. We have arrived in Monterey, and here's Laguna Seca, famous racetrack, but we're in Monterey. It's the Monday, which means car week has officially begun now. So yeah, we're in Monterey Car Week. If you guys haven't followed before, haven't watched the Monterey Car Week videos from other years, make sure to follow along, because it gets intense. Right now it's Monday, it's still a little bit relaxed, but I'm talking by the end of the week, by Friday, Saturday, almost every other car on the road is something very special. So you're going to want to follow along. I'm going to give you the most real car week experience I can possibly give you if you're not here and you're not able to make it. But it gets insane. We're going to see every type of car. You never know what's going to show up. But yeah, let's start this. So here we have the first spot of Monterey Car Week. This beautiful, completely stock for a first-gen Mercy, which is pretty rare. The original wheels, original everything. Looks so good. This car is so mint. Looks like probably an 05 car because it is an E-gear, but man, the paint is perfect. The wheels are perfect. Good first spot. Now, the Murcielago was the first spot of Car Week, but you can kind of tell over there the first big spot of Car Week, which is the same as our last year's first big spot of Car Week. So just like last year's Car Week, we saw green Huayra BC. This time we see a blue one. Not a bad car. I believe we've seen this one before in Connecticut. A more base BC, if you can even say that, but no roof scoop and stuff, but still looks incredible in this blue with the carbon, and just kind of ditched here in this parking lot. Man, such a clean first-gen Mercy. Like I said before, you do not see clean first-gen Mercies. The yellow interior, this car must be a super low mileage car. I believe these actually might be the LP640 wheels, but this is a 6.2 of the original ones. Not bad at all. Split window, C2. Ferrari Dino outside of the Miller Motorcars house. So we're at Spanish Bay, and there's a crazy spot right here. It's 6 cars.
Oh my goodness.
6 cars, not from the 6, but straight from Tokyo.
I don't do autograph. I'm sorry.
Don't do autograph? Fuck, I was gonna have you sign my forehead.
I want Roy's.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Your forehead or?
The guy on the other side of this camera is a legend, everybody. Okay? So if you're not already, hit that sub button.
Oof.
Okay? Endorsed by 6 cars.
Let's go.
Let's go. Yeah.
But yeah, Monday of Car Week. 1 Super Sport, 2 Super Sport, and a Super Sport 300 right there. Crazy cars, crazy lineup here at Spanish Bay. Absolutely wild. But yeah, this one is almost like the 300 spec, but it's blue instead of orange. And from far, it kind of looks like paint, but when you look closely, you can tell it's actually exposed carbon. Of course, the Super Sports with the sky view. Such a nice car. Next, that's probably my favorite Super Sports. White with the white interior, some black accents on the interior, sky view as well. Low-key spec for a Super Sports somewhat, but honestly might be the best spec I've ever seen. Next to that is, of course, the top speed car, the 300. No sky view here. Exposed carbon with the orange accents and the high-speed wheels. But crazy lineup from Monday. Probably by like Wednesday, Thursday, this is all going to be hypercars. This is one of the top spots to look at when you're at Monterey Car Weeks, the inn at Spanish Bay. Zagato Aston Martin, a 4x4 G-Wagon. One of the first cars we see getting unloaded. Heritage GT350. Last year production. GT3 Touring, red interior. Pretty good spec. Heritage 4GT. We got a 993 Turbo S and a 3.6 turbo next to that, and another, I think it's a 996 Turbo. And there's some 550 Ferrari, looks like a race car. Ventador SV, pretty clean spec in this white. Too bad the front lift is up, but still looks incredible. Carrera RS, hopefully it's real. That's pretty crazy. 300 SL, what the hell, at a motel. So yeah, like I said, you never know what you're gonna see at Car Week and where. Again, like we're at a motel and someone just left a 300 SL here, and they're probably staying here because it's crazy. Like, this is, at the end of the week, everywhere just like this. It's unbelievable, the experience here. But yeah, very classic Car Week car. Silver on red, 300 SL gull wing. These look so good. Kind of the first supercars in the world, like 1954, I think was the first year. The first mid-engine one was the Miro, but this is still front engine, but such a good car. So yeah, not a 2.7 RS, but still looks super cool. Always like the ducktail on these. Let's see, the interior, it's got like a houndstooth insert. Looks like it gets properly driven. And again, just left at this motel, and directly behind it is the 300 SL. And we're just on the Monday, guys. Like Thursday, Friday, Saturday, this is gonna be nothing compared to those. Those, like the whole street will be just supercars. It's gonna be crazy. We have slight suspicions it's not a real 300 SL. We don't know for sure, but honestly, innocent until proven guilty, so we can't prove this is fake. We don't know for sure. So for now, let's just say 300 SL. A12 in silver looks really good. And GT4. Also very expensive. Ruby Star 996, like rally type car, white wheels, raised with like a gigantic roof, literally a box.
No,
not bad.
550 speed.
And a GT500. Sail on Camaro, a bunch of muscle cars. Another one. 550 Spider. 4x4 squared in this amazing looking blue. You see all the contrast. GT3 RS with Alex's claim of best wheels on
mag wheels on a 991.2. Perfect. Literally fucking perfect.
The Dino again with nobody around it. GT3 Touring, an amazing spec, and this I think is a Heritage Edition Boxster. So yeah, 25th anniversary Boxster. So it comes with these gold wheels, the gold accents right here. I haven't seen too many of those. I think it's a 4-liter engine, I'm not too sure, but in front of that is a great color on a GT3 Touring. Very low-key spec, but man, it's so nice. Let's see what color interior. Let's not get in Stefan Pop shot. Okay, so regular black interior, but man, the spec is so good. Okay, so Jason landed yesterday, and the R34 is here. So same crew, same cars as every year. We're gonna go do some night spotting, but here's the R34 GTR. We've seen it a ton of times on the channel. The Tacoma next to it, solid crew this year. So we're in the R34 now with Jason, and we're about to go do some night spotting. Hopefully some cool stuff's gonna be out, but who knows. Still the first day, so nothing crazy, but first gen Gallardo in yellow. This thing is so sick. Last year there was a 456 Venice here, which is the same type of thing. Now we have an Aston Martin one. So 993 Turbo S in blue with these cool orange and yellow accents. 3.6 turbo. I've never heard of this before, but Lamborghini Islero right here. Pretty cool, like a GT looking car, I guess 4-seater. Lancia Delta Integrale, white with these cool blue seats. Look at the spec on this GTO. White with like a bunch of little red accents. The red interior with the white walls behind it. This is a crazy spec. I don't think I've even seen pictures of this one before. But I mean, the customizations to make a spec like this happen are unbelievable. So here they have a bunch of pre-war stuff. I'm not gonna lie, I don't know really anything about these, but they look pretty expensive. I also don't know much about these race cars. I believe Le Mans cars, but correct me if I'm wrong. So Ferrari 250 LM, this is gonna bring huge money. And next to it is this Ferrari F40, like a kid car. And I feel like every year they have one of these for sale. I don't know if it's the same one, but this would be a cool little toy to have. So here we have a red Ferrari Enzo. You know, these cars always age great. You don't see them that often, but it's so nice to see. Less and less people drive them as time goes. You know, they don't have AC, they have roll down windows, but this is named after Enzo Ferrari. This is, at least for me, the car I grew up with, and I'll always love seeing a Ferrari Enzo. So here we have a cool pair, because I actually want to say something that I always tell people about these cars. So this is a 300 SL Roadster, this is a 190 SL Roadster, but the weird thing is this. The 190 SL Roadster has kind of the front end of the 300 SL Gullwing, and this probably has more of a similar shape to a regular 190 SL. So it's kind of cool how they changed up the headlights and everything on the 300 SL Roadster, but from what I'm hearing, the Roadsters are significantly better to drive. You know, the coupes don't have AC and stuff like that. The windows don't go down, so a lot more comfortable driving these, but I heard the actual drive is better in these, and the value shows it because these are going up a lot more than the Gullwings. Mark II 4GT, the track only car in this nice blue. I'm trying to see what kind of blue this is, if it's from a regular Ford or not. I believe this is lightning blue, but I'm not 100% sure. But the roof scoop, the wing, everything looks crazy on this car. You know, a regular 4GT feels like a race car already, so I wonder what this would feel like. Now, here's a 300 SL Roadster like I was talking before, and I was telling you guys it has a different front end than the coupes. So a good thing is, across we have a coupe. You see the circular headlights right here that look like the 190 SL Roadster. This one stretches down a little bit more, so you can tell the difference. Next to that, we have a 911 Speedster, and I have not seen one of these in a very long time. 935, the track car based on the GT2 RS. This thing is a monster. Probably drives like crazy because the GT2 RS, as it is already a wild car. So I didn't realize these are so expensive, but 3.6 turbo is 500 to 600,000. This one is probably more. This one, if I have to guess, probably 700-800. Or Tyler's saying more. 750 to 950 for the 993 Turbo S. I guess our regular one would be like 600-700, but because of this paint scheme, I understand why it's more. Next to that is, I believe, a DB5, I want to say. Yeah, DB5. What's the estimate for this? 1.2 to 1.45. I mean, some big money cars being offered this year. Again, like I said, that 550 might be a $9 million car. Okay, so really cool car on the roof is an Escalade V. On the other side, there's, no, I'm just kidding. There's a McLaren P1 right here in green next to a 993 Turbo. But this P1, I don't know. Like, the lifts are all up. It's in probably the worst position. I don't know what these HRE wheels are. No offense to this P1 owner, but you got to park the car a little bit nicer. If you had the lifts down, it would probably look a lot better. But, I mean, it is what it is. Still, McLaren P1 at the end of the day is a McLaren P1. Okay, so we're looking at the preview on the outside of RM Sothebys, and they have like an abandoned car section right here. I'm going to walk through, see what every car is. There's some pretty interesting stuff here. Okay, so we're starting the tour now. Keegan's going to talk through what these cars are.
Yeah, so all these cars came from Florida, and back in the early 2000s, they all got destroyed in the same barn in a hurricane. So the owner shipped them down to Indiana, and he's just preserved the cars. They haven't been cleaned. None of them run. They're all abandoned vehicles, and we are selling them as is without any restoration, nothing. So first off, one of the biggest ones, 1954 500 Mondial. It looks like nothing, but the reserve on this one is 1.2 to 1.6 million US.
1.2 to 1.6.
And a restoration like this would take years and millions of dollars, but after the restoration, it's worth even more. You're still making money on this car. It's just it's a big project, or you can leave it as is. I mean, what a cool garage piece. Then up front here, we have my favorite. It's a Ferrari 275 60 alloy, which is the king of all Ferrari 275 coupes. The reserve on this one is 2 to 2.5 million as is. And one of the cool things they did about the setup here is kind of mimic what the barn looked like when they found the cars in Florida. And you can see windows open, interior is exposed. You have beams going across the back of a, after restored, a potentially $6 to $7 million Ferrari.
So quick break from Keegan showing us, but this might be the craziest auction display I've ever seen. This is an auction display of a tire through the window of a Ferrari 308. Like, who displays an auction like that? That's the craziest thing I've ever seen. And the wood in the headlight, this car is destroyed, and they're displaying it with what it got hit with. So here we got a 512 BB, also not as destroyed as the other ones, mostly full of dust. I'm sure there is some damage on this car. You can see dents and scratches everywhere, but compared to everything else, it's not that bad. Next to that is this Ferrari Testarossa, same kind of thing. It's not horrible, it's kind of doable. A lot of dust, some scratches, some marks, but again, nothing you can't really take care of. Here we have a long name. So it's a Ferrari 250 GTL Berlinetta Lusso. Now, the cool thing about this car, before we talk about the condition as it is right now, is that the front end, for people who don't know, this car is probably going to get mistaken for someone of like a 250 GTO. It has a very similar looking front, similar looking fenders, but obviously it's not. This car's a lot longer. This one, again, a lot of scratches, a lot of nicks, but not that bad. Next to that, this Ferrari Daytona as well. Not bad at all compared to everything else. You got a flat tire, some scratches, but honestly, it's pretty doable. Ferrari 330 GTS also probably got off somewhat unscathed from this whole disaster, but it is still pretty nice. Next to that is this fully destroyed one. This 330 GT pretty much has no paint left on it. I mean, it's completely destroyed. Behind that is another one. This one is in way better shape than the one over here. This one still has paint on it. You can tell it's a very nice silver. But man, I don't know what happened here, but this car got fully destroyed. The tires on it, the wood on the top. What the hell happened here? Huge piece of wood on top of the car, completely smashed the windshield. And then here on the top we have a 400, another Daytona, a few other cars that just got pretty destroyed in this whole thing. But the crazy thing is, all of these cars are going to go up for auction later this week, and they're going to bring millions. The way they're sitting just shows you how these collector cars just don't go down in value, and there's not enough of them to keep up the demand for people that want them. And some people are going to take on these projects and bring these cars back into life, or who knows, they might just display them in a cool way like this in their garage. So most of the big boy cars are parked inside. There's a few highlights here that I'll go over. I'll see Lancia Delta Integrale, Zagato. I don't even really know what this is. Is that a Lancia Zagato? But yeah, RS 200, 4GT, Aventador Ultimate in this military green with. Okay, there, buddy.
That's huge.
Holy crap. Okay, but yeah, Ultimate Roadster, Carrera RS, open headlight NSX. These are so awesome. They're going for like double the price of a regular NSX.
Double the price of the SLS, because it is probably going.
That is actually probably, yeah. I made a mistake. I actually accidentally said SLS before. SLS right there, but it is actually probably more expensive than that SLS. 550 Barchetta over there in the background. Got a Porsche 928. Few other cars, but we have a few more cars to check out tonight that hopefully we'll be able to find. No guarantees, so we're gonna go ahead and do that. Lancia 037. I don't know if I've ever seen one before. This is so cool. It's going up for auction. 575 Super America with this really nice cream interior, and this is a gated car. That's pretty crazy for a 575 Super America. You never see them. I think 15% of production of the Super Americas came in manual. So one thing I really find funny about the 575 Super America is, let's say you're driving on a nice day, top is down. The way the top goes down is it folds right over here, but it has a bit of a bowl shape. Let's say you're driving around and it starts raining, you got to put the roof up, but the bowl here just filled up with rain. Now, do you drive in the rain, or do you put the top up and pour it all on you directly? Kind of a tough choice. Trying to find some cars. Might be a bust for tonight, but we have the R34 here parked pretty nicely. That might be a wrap.